Hey everyone, it's Bobbi
I'm Cedric.
of Aging Grateful, and this video right here is about overextending yourself in Mexico,
Right.
and it can cost you.
Yeah, these are just things that once you get comfortable and settled into a place, you can really start to overextend yourself and get away from the goals that you originally came to Mexico for. Right?
And it may not just apply to Mexico,
No,
it
just
might be able
abroad.
to apply to any place, but
Right.
we're in Mexico, so this is about Mexico.
Right.
All right, so stay tuned. So, overextending yourself, when we're talking about that, we're talking about things that can derail your progress, right?
Right. And some examples of overextending yourself would be like renting and buying, in the best neighborhoods because
Or the most expensive
neighborhood.
neighborhoods.
The most expensive, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Because once you move abroad and then you get the sticker shock of everything being more affordable, you start to think, oh, well, I know my budget was $700 a month for rent, but this place over here is really nice.
And it's $1,100 a month.
Yeah, and I can afford that. It's only a couple of $100 more, right?
So yes, while that sounds great, you came with a set budget you were planning, right? And whatever that planning means, whether it's that you were saving money, or you were just doing a good job of making sure that you stayed on target, that can actually derail you because you had a plan.
Right.
And then you deviated from the plan because things may be a little bit more affordable for you in the place that you moved to or in Mexico. Another thing or an example of overextending yourself is hiring drivers or a driver. Though we tend to do this.
Yes, we do.
We tend to do this. But hiring a driver to go everywhere can, overextend your budget because...
Yeah, it's easy to do because they're
convenient.
They're convenient, they're affordable, but over time it adds up. And one example, like I had a doctor's appointment last week, I think it was, and I took an Uber to the appointment, and it cost me about $8, $9, somewhere around there. And this is going to the other side of town, so which is not too bad of a price. Then coming back home, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hop on the bus. The bus stop was kind of across the street a little bit. Hopped on the bus, it cost me 45 cents.
Okay, so I guess when we're saying driver or drivers, we're also talking about Ubers as well as private drivers. Right,
we're talking the lifestyle more of, right? So it's the lifestyle of hiring a driver, getting, Ubers, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. So, and over time, those things can add up. A good example too for us is we live not too close to an airport. So if you're one that travels quite frequently or needing to travel quite frequently, maybe driving to the airport or hiring a driver to the airport can become costly, right? Because for us, we're just giving you an average, right? An average somewhere for us would be somewhere between $60 all the way up to maybe $100 each time you go to the airport. So that can be quite costly, and that's because of how far we are from the airport. We're about an hour and 10 minutes away from the airport. So we're just giving you these as examples, right? How that can derail you.
Yeah.
All right. The next thing.
Buying expensive furniture.
So you want people to buy inexpensive furniture?
No, but I'm just saying it's one of those things that basically the idea is you're recreating your lifestyle that you had, and we're talking about U.S. because that's where we're from. So the bottom line is you come someplace like Mexico and you recreate your life in the U.S. because things are more affordable and you can do, you can get more bang for your buck, so to speak, right? You can get a bigger house, you can buy some really nice furniture, you can hire drivers.
But those are things that the furniture and stuff can be costly. And so, yes, you're saying that could derail you because you'll be going down a rabbit hole and say, oh, well, I can get this and I can get that and I can get this. And
I want to make it my own.
Yes, and that's totally fine, but just be mindful of the fact that, over time that could be something that derails you.
Yeah,
okay. The next thing is eating out at nice restaurants.
Yes.
So, we talk about this all the time, how we'll go to, and you've seen us, if you've been with our channel any amount of time, you've seen us do taco tours, like we'll go to get tacos, we may go to Thai restaurants, we might go just many different places, but a lot of times when you see us going out, these places are not expensive or not usually a high-priced restaurant or pricey restaurant, and maybe more local. But when you're in a new place, you might want to try everything.
Yes.
I mean, every restaurant, every cafe, and what happens is that then you may tend to, and if you're this type of person, go to these more expensive restaurants, which they do exist all over the place. All over the world. You can have your, maybe your less expensive, your median fare, and then your high end. And over time, doing that can tend to derail you from your
and
plan.
It goes back to the lifestyle, right? So if you want to create this lifestyle, maybe you didn't get a chance to really eat at, high-end restaurants in the U.S. because they're really expensive, but you come here and it's like, oh, they're not that bad, right?
They're less expensive.
They're less expensive, so you can actually, go to them and enjoy them.
Correct.
But that leads back into this overextending lifestyle.
Yes.
Overextended lifestyle.
Yes, and so you got to be careful of that as well, and be mindful of it. These are not things that we're telling you not to do,
right,
or to do. It is just information that we're sharing and education from not only our experiences, but the experiences that we have with our friends and families and things like that. So we're talking about the fact of you can overextend yourself, right?
You can very easily overextend yourself. And what that creates is, like we mentioned before, is it creates a level of income that you have to maintain to keep up the lifestyle, right?
Absolutely.
So maybe you want to freelance, or, you want to kind of take it easy a little bit, but if you're overextending yourself, you're always going to have to maintain a certain level of income.
Yeah, as an example, if you're retired, or if you are just saying, you know what, I'm taking a sabbatical for a while, and this is the amount of money that you have, think about it this way. You are doing yourself a disservice by doing everything up front. You need to space that out in order to maintain, or else you're going to be looking at either going back to where you came from, or trying to find other sources of income in order to meet the extra that you want to do.
Yeah, then you'll be working more than you planned on.
Absolutely, instead of enjoying this big, beautiful world, right?
The other thing, it may affect your travel plans. Maybe you want to come abroad, kind of set up shop, and then do some traveling, around the country and whatnot,
or the globe,
or whatever it is. But you may not be able to do that if you're overextended. You're basically going to have a potential to be just like in the U.S., paycheck to paycheck type of thing, trying to maintain this lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And it could very easily creep up on you.
Life creep, absolutely.
The more comfortable you get, the more easier it is for that life creep to start.
Absolutely. Also, it could derail if there's ever any emergencies or situations that may occur that you did not plan for. If you're out here just wowing out, as I like to say, wowing out, and then something actually happens that you are needing funds in an emergency situation, you may not have that accessible, and maybe trying to figure out how to go about taking care of that situation. And nobody wants to be in a situation where you're asking for others for money, or maybe even cutting short your plans because of something unexpected happening.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we also have some recommendations for you.
Yeah, we have some recommendations on trying to keep that in check.
Okay, let's hear them.
If you've been around for a while, you probably heard the KISS method. If you're in corporate America, the keep it simple, stupid method.
Keep it simple, sweetie.
Keep it simple, sweetie. Or keep it stupid simple.
Yes.
Keep it. So anyways, one recommendation is, you're going to have these things. It's a new place. You want to explore. You want to try all the new places. So plan for that, maybe budget for that for a month or two, and kind of get it all out of your system.
Oh, yes.
Set aside a couple, whatever money
Extra.
you think you might need, and just get it out there. Just go out there and try all the restaurants, go to the rooftop restaurants, go to the tours.
Buy all the expensive stuff that you decide you want, blenders, couches, beds, whatever. Yeah. Just get it all out your system, but plan to get it out your system. Don't be like, I think I could just take it from here. No, plan for it. Say, you know what, I'm probably going to blow these next 2 months budgets. Like, I'm going to add an additional XYZ amount to it because I know it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, and moving abroad is a big accomplishment. So enjoy it. Celebrate yourself.
Yes.
And
you made it.
Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And this also helps you to establish if there's some things that you didn't think about, that you don't have to worry about it at the time. You could just say, you know what? I already knew something was going to happen. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Also, next thing is stick to a realistic budget, regardless of how tempting it may be to overextend. An example of that is, let's say, for instance, you did 3 months where you just decided, I'm just going to live and not worry about the finances or budget or anything like that for the 3 months. And after the 3 months is over, you decide, now I'm going to go ahead and do a realistic budget. Stick to it.
Right.
Stick to it. Don't deviate. It's you got the fun out. You had it, and now you really do want to live. Stick to the budget.
Yeah, and speaking of that too, that 2 or 3 months that you take may be a good chance for you to come up with a budget now that you got out there and kind of exploring all these different things and seeing what things really cost. That may change your initial budget from the beginning. But once you get that, definitely stick to it. It's tempting. You may see a place like I mentioned. Maybe you're planning on your rent being $700, but you see a place for $900 or $1,000 because it has all these amenities, and you're justifying in your head you can really afford it. And you can cut back on this, but just stick to your
guns.
If you have goals, stick to the goals and the plan.
Right.
And you'll be able to attain those goals in the time that you.
And also, I want to say this: stick to a budget or a goal for a short period of time. People think that they have to stick to the goal or the budget, for 5-10 years. That may not be the case. If you say that you made a commitment for $700 for your rent, right? And you're doing that for a year, you can reevaluate all of that after the year is over. Absolutely. But maintain the commitment for the shorter period of time. I'm all about being able to be flexible when you can. So make them shorter goals, making shorter budgets. That way you do have the leeway to say, you know what, that place was either too big. I didn't need to, I didn't realistically need that big of a place. And I can maybe go down to maybe a $600 or $550 rental budget, or that place was too small. Or I could get something a little bit with an extra bedroom. We sacrificed for this year, so now I'm able to go ahead and add a little bit more to the budget for living expenses. So Big proponent about that.
Yeah,
Big
because the
proponent.
longer you're at a place, the more you get a chance to fill it out
And see other options.
Yeah.
But once you've committed, commit.
Yeah.
And then also,
Surrounding yourself with the right community.
oh my gosh, if I could just, if we could just start there.
Yeah.
Started there. Community is very big, and you've heard us here recently, probably within the beginning of this year, more towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, talking more about community being of its importance because we have found amazing community. But the type of community is where it stems from. You have to know the type of community that you would like, right?
Yeah, because a community does influence your decisions, and as much as we try to say we are our own person and this and that,
And we're individuals.
The community will influence your decisions, or can influence your decisions, right? If your goal is to save money and eat local and go to the markets and do all that, but then you're in a community that's hanging out at restaurants and rooftop bars and all these little cafes, chances are you're going to be doing the same thing because you're going to want to be a part of what's going on in that community.
True. If, as an example, if you are really trying to eat very healthy, stay on a diet, or for health concerns, you're just trying to maintain and maybe even build muscle or whatever the case may be, lose weight, whatever, and your community is all about the let's go and eat the latest, greatest thing, fried foods, and then you're going to probably tend to indulge in those things a little bit more than you should. So community is very important, but the type of community that you have is equally as important. And so be mindful of those things too. If everybody's saying, hey, I want to travel all the time and I want to spend money on the latest, greatest, and that's your community, that's your wheelhouse, right? That's your world. And you're sticking realistically to a budget, that community could potentially derail, right? So some things to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We gave it all we got? We gave it all we got.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, sweetie. But if you felt like this information was beneficial to you, or you liked this video, please do us a solid and like,
subscribe,
comment, and share, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to any new or additional videos that we have coming up.
Yeah. Think of anything else? Put them in the comments.
Yeah, put them in the comments. Oh yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Till next time.